Where would you be if you had 24 hours to live? What would you eat? Saigon. To eat and live like a local for 24 hours in Saigon is a culinary and cultural adventure that will leave you breathless, speechless, and possibly toothless. You dive headfirst into a world as old as time and as new as tomorrow, as conservative as Confucius and as wild as Lady Gaga, as orderly as a symphony and as chaotic as a mosh pit. You will taste dishes as varied as the weather, hot and steamy pho, cool and crisp banh mi. Marvel at the freshness of the ingredients, pungency of the spices, richness of the sauces, and the prettiness of the plates. Watch the magic and madness of the teeming Saigonese streets unfold before you. This video will take you on a culinary adventure, neatly packed in a 24-hour window. So come along with me as I guide you through Saigon, Vietnam, and give you a peek into eating like a local for 24 hours. But before we delve into the chaos of this city, we start our day like a real local, with the tinkling ice of Cafe Suida on a sleepy, tree-lined boulevard in District 1, twittering with morning birds. We are starting off our 24 hours in Saigon with a classic street-side cafe. We are at Cafe Go in D1 near to D4, right downtown, and we're having a Cafe Suida. As simple as it gets, but it's the best way to start your day off in Saigon. Today we're going to visit the market in my wife's old neighborhood, the notorious District 4, Quan Bon, where Saigon's legendary mafia wars played out in the 90s. But before we get there, let's grab a snack on the corner to whet our palate with a singful treat. Chui Chien, deep-fried bananas. We are sitting in the middle of this tiny little market in District 1 Ho Chi Minh. Starting off a little snack today, just had a coffee. This is kind of our appetizer. It is a deep-fried banana, what's known as a Chui Chien. This one was actually triple fried. Batter it, fry it, take it out, hit it with some corn, batter it again, fry it again, then take it out, pop up all the bubbles, and fry it a third time. Big, delicious, deep fried snack. Early morning or late night, I think, on this one. Oh wow, they're really sweet and gooey. It's almost like eating a McDonald's apple. Pure sugar on the outside and batter. The gooiness has that like almost glutinous rice texture. We're not getting these too often, but if you're just in Saigon for a single day and you've only got 24 hours, definitely worth trying one of these out. Chui Chien, a deep fried banana. Of course, eating street food in Saigon is not for the faint of heart. You'll encounter some hygiene issues, some unfamiliar ingredients, some spicy surprises, and some traffic hazards along the way. If you're afraid of raw meat, open kitchens, and wet markets, or a little bit of fire, you should probably live vicariously. But if you're willing to take the risk, you'll be rewarded with a memorable and delicious experience. They're right out in the open waiting for you. We're gonna start with a bowl of Vietnamese noodles, a classic southern dish, Bun Thit Nong. Walk through the market and see what the vendors have. Take a risk, try something new, spontaneous, a little bit outside of your Western comfort zone. When you eat lunch in the market, there'll be rats and cats. Don't be afraid. Bun Thit Nong is one of those dishes that make you fall in love with Vietnam. A symphony of flavors and textures, a balance of sweet, sour, salty, and heat. Tender grilled pork marinated with lemongrass, garlic, and fish sauce, served over rice noodles and crisp, cold lettuce. Crunchy peanuts, fragrant herbs, tangy pickles, and crispy rice paper spring rolls. The magic of Nuoc Cham, a dipping sauce that ties everything together. We're at the market in District 4, and we are going to be eating some Bun Thit Nong today. Classic southern dish, kind of comparable to the Bun Cha Hanoi Saigon style. We got one with a little bit of ba la lop, literally like beef or little grilled beef sausages in was it betel leaf? Pretty delicious. Let's try these first. Super strong, pungent flavor. The Nuoc Cham is fiery hot, sweet, and of course tangy with the fish sauce. What else do we have in here? This is the ba la lop. Then we've also got a little bit of cha xiao spring roll, like a deep fried spring roll in there. Try a little bit of that. Very crispy, crunchy rice roll wrapper, really meaty. like heavy on the protein. Not a lot of veg in there. In this buntit nung, we also have like a nem nung, almost like a Trang style nem nung, a grilled sausage roll, pieces of grilled pork, noodles, as well as some scallion oil. Oh yeah, noodle pulls for Noodlehead. Perilla or Paria, depending on who you talk to in the comments, as well as a little bit of Vietnamese basil, some fresh green sprouts, some lettuce. This is cucumber, just for sunny side over at Best Ever Food Review Show. I'm just gonna go wholesale, full thing in there. Then I'm gonna take my Nook Cham. So we got fish sauce, sugar, chili, a little bit of pickled carrot and pickled daikon. Get a nice close-up of that as we stir it up. This looks delicious. Southern style nem nung at the market, District 4 in Ho Chi Minh City, Saigon. The old quam bone action. You see, that's beautiful. Sometimes it's translated in English. This is called the salad. It's called like fresh noodle salad or like rice noodle or vermicelli noodle salad. Either way, it is a delicious looking bowl of food and I can't wait to get my first bite. Dig into this. First bite, try to get a little bit of everything. Some noodles, some fresh herbs, as well as some meat. Oh yeah, good. It's very sweet, sweeter than I was expecting. But you really got that fatty rendered pork meat flavor, grilled bacon, like absolutely salty, sweet, and delicious. This is, for those of you out there craving the old authentic experiences, you're not gonna get more authentic than eating buntit nung in a Saigon market in District 4. It's delicious. Served with a little bit of crunchy peanuts on top often, ground up peanuts, so it gives you a little bit of that texture, a little bite, toothsomeness. If you're a noodlehead like me, there's no place in the world you'd rather be than right here, smashing your face on this bowl. There's something about the combination of the crunchy pickled veg, the chewy, hearty pork meat, and that delicious rendered out fat taste. Get these crunchy little peanuts on top. I think I might like this dish even more than Bun Cha Hanoi. I know. Hit me in the comments, let me know what you prefer, northern or southern style. That is delicious. That's a nice chocolate, it looks like all stirred up. I feel like this dish really starts to come together as you eat it a little bit more, and all the different ingredients come together, and it just really is like a tossed salad. Make sure to give this video the thumbs, subscribe to Noodlehead. We got a whole lot more planned for the rest of the day. We're gonna end up at a beautiful outdoor barbecue spot, maybe have a couple drinks tonight after dark. Make sure to stick around, watch till the end of the video. This is 24 hours of eating like a local in Saigon, Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh City, with me, Evan from Noodlehead. Let's do it.
I'm absolutely stuffed, but it's nothing a nap won't fix. The postprandial napping tradition here dates back to ancient times when Vietnam was predominantly an agricultural society of farmers who needed to rest and recuperate, hiding from the scorching heat and recovering from the strenuous labor of the morning. It's an indispensable part of the daily routine for millions of Viets. When the mercury reaches a screaming 40 degrees centigrade at midday, you'll find the streets empty, regardless of occupation, location, or social status. The lights are off. The cardboard mattresses are rolled out beneath desks. The bike drivers asleep under their helmets.
We're in the middle of Saigon, if you can believe it, sitting on a canal that goes all the way to the Mekong Delta if you follow it up to its source. And while the rest of the city sleeps, having a little postprandial nap, we are digging into this, a beautiful fresh coconut, aka a yua. I'm at the coffee ship, one of the most unique, odd, and enjoyable experiences in Saigon. A perfectly Saigonese out to lunch experience. We're floating on a canal right in the middle of the city. There are shanties and kitsch interior and all kinds of weird coffee trinkets. Everything you could possibly want in the afternoon. A little bit of a break before we get into the heavy eating tonight. We're gonna go out, get some barbecue, some grilled seafood, have some beers, do it up proper Saigonese style. We're at Panda Barbecue, which specializes in regional Dalat style barbecue, and we are gonna start out with this incredible seafood platter. So we have some tom on top, or in other words, whole shrimp, an octopus as well. In the front, you see a selection of abalone, and then we've got a couple oysters pho mai, or oysters with cheese. You can see this is sort of a modern Viet food. It's more of a fusion influence from Korean barbecue, but with its own totally intentional and Vietnamese spin on things. So we're gonna start off with some of these beautiful shrimp. You can see they're actually pronged right on top here. Get some of these onto the grill. Woo. They look gorgeous, and those should cook up pretty quick on the coals. Abalone, beautiful little sea abalone. Seems almost a shame to cook these big, beautiful oysters when we could have them raw, but let's get it. They're gonna bubble right up. You see it steaming and simmering a bit, and they're literally gonna cook in their own brine. And these should cook right in the shell. You can see the shrimp already going. So this is the hand kwok style, AKA Korean. And then this is Viet style. So this is made with some sua, as well as a little bit of green chili and some citrus. I guess it's calamansi, which is the little tiny limes that almost have like a tangerine sweetness to them. Over at the buffet, we sorted ourselves out. So it's like a make your own dip kind of scenario. We got a little bit of stinky fermented tofu in there, as well as some saute sauce, which is like almost like a chili garlic. And we finished it off with some sesame seeds and some fresh chili, as well as some garlic. That should be beautiful. Let's mix that up. Woo! The stinky tofu is almost like, it gives it like a cheesy taste. Like it is a funky sort of, definitely fermented. It's alive. Our scampi shrimp, they're almost done. They're gonna come off the plate first. Get a look at that thing. Beautiful char marks on the side. Whee. We are gonna eat these whole too. So these will be exoskeleton, head on, skin. We will not peel these suckers. And then while we're at it, I think we gotta get the big mama on here. This is octopus, basically an entire baby octopus. You can see it's been rubbed down with some chili and some garlic. This sucker looks delicious. We'll get that on there. And then once it's whole, we'll chop up some of those tentacles with a pair of scissors. Woo! Get that smoke out. And we also have some of these snails. We're gonna wait a second for these suckers before we get one on. Nah, forget it. Let's put one on right now. It's starting to bubble, so you can just gently cooking in its own brine, these oysters. These are gonna be delicious. Look at those tentacles. They're just dancing on the flame. All right, let's go first bite in here with one of these beautiful shrimp. That looks gorgeous. We're gonna get the head first. Gotta go the head. Oh man, it is fantastic. So fresh, so juicy, and the crunch, man. This calls for a beer. Cheers, I'm Evan, this is Noodlehead. All right, so we're gonna get into some of this beautiful seafood. This is a little bit hot to the touch, but we're gonna take care of it. This is the oyster. It's just grilled with a little bit of scallion oil, not quite naked. Obviously coming from the West, I tend to be eating my oysters raw, so I'm not gonna dress this up in any other sauce. I'm just gonna go for it. Get a look at that beautiful thing. Cheers, Mo Hai Ba. Oh, so good. A little bit of the salty brine. It's boiled in its own juice. Finished with that scallion. Hit with the oil. Absolutely delicious. This whole meal just begs to have a beer the second you get a bite in your mouth. Next up, we are going to be trying one of these beautiful little abalones. Had abalone before in Australia by the Great Ocean Road, but they were enormous. It's gonna be a choose your own adventure for me here. Oh. It is good and it's beautiful. Look at that shell. I feel like I'm diving for oysters here. It's spicy. They got a nice chili garlic on it. It's heavily seasoned and it's got a meaty texture, but it's not quite rubbery or tough. I think it's time to get in our first tentacle. Get a look at that. It's grilled to perfection. I'm gonna go in, I think, with some of this. It's like a Viet style seafood sauce. So it's made with condensed milk or sua, some citrusy calamansi, and a little bit of green chili. It's quite spicy, very sweet, and then tart on the end. Look at this beauty. Let's get into this. Oh my God. So succulent. Oh, so flavorful. That is hands down one of the best like bites of food, one of the best morsels of food I've had in Vietnam. Oh my God. This is fantastic. And this is like modern Vietnamese food. This isn't like super traditional urban stuff. They say it's the Lat style, but then of course it's full of seafood. And Ho Chi Minh City, Saigon, is a port. So all of it should be coming fresh off the ocean. You can taste it. It is just so clean, so pure. Here we have a beautiful oyster pho mai. So it's a cheese style oyster. A little bit of influence there from like a Japanese or a classic French dish. Again, I don't usually go cooked oysters, but when in Rome, as they say, lift this out, get a beautiful look at it here. Oh, it smells really rich. It has that buttery, creamy, like milky, almost like a mac and cheese. Like this is gonna be delicious and it is bubbling hot. Cheers. Whoa. Oh, scorching. Wow. My mouth's on fire, but that was worth it. That's absolutely fantastic. So rich, so succulent. I mean, it's a little bit over the top, but that's a big, tough oyster. That is not, you know, a skinny little maple cue. That had meat on it, it had texture, and because of that, the cook wasn't so bad. Let's get a look at these snails. Ooh, little char mark on the shell there. That is looking beautiful too. Let's see if we can pull this sucker out. Oh boy, Papa's coming. Papa is coming home. Oh yeah. Are you kidding? Look at the size of this thing. Woo! That is no joke. Get that shell out of here. I think I'm gonna get in with my seafood sauce. I don't wanna get my stinky tofu onto this nice, succulent little morsel. Look at that drip. Oh yeah. That is the money shot right there. Oh God, fantastic. And it's a mouthful. That is a lot of food. Wow, delicious, 10 out of 10.
To eat and drink in Saigon is to discover the city's rich history, its colorful markets, its peaceful temples, its crowded streets, and its secret alleys. It's to meet a people who are friendly, hospitable, resilient, proud, curious, and often hilarious. It is to be blown away by the sheer intensity and diversity of life, to be tickled by its charms, its wit, and its many pungent aromas. A single day in Saigon will challenge your taste buds and expand your horizon. We have one last stop here. I'm at After Work Rooftop Bar. It's a little out of the way. It's all the way out in District 7, basically on the edge of the suburbs. But it's got a beautiful view, look back of the city. It's a perfect spot for a nightcap, and it's exactly the way a local ends their night after 24 hours in Saigon. So highly recommend you push yourself, get a little farther out of the downtown, and check out some truly local spots. This is one of the best. After Work Rooftop Bar, District 7, a perfect place to chill and have a nightcap and end your single day, 24 hours of eating and drinking like a local in Saigon. Cheers. I'm Evan, this is Doodlehead. Check out the videos on either side of my head, sub to the channel, keep watching.